Well, geez, I'm friggin' Crow. It's the All Stoved Up Podcast with the boys from Welcome to Maine.
All right, hey guys, welcome to the All Stoved Up Podcast. I am your host, Ian Stewart, also known as Mark. My co-hosts are James, also known as friggin' Troy, and Paul, who is known as Luke on the show, a newcomer to the show.
As of one episode.
He's done one episode, but Paul and I have been working on videos together for almost a decade at this point.
Oh, for sure.
So we are very used to working.
I think later on in the show, Ian, we should touch on that so people can look you up.
Yeah.
I'll give them a little scavenger hunt.
Honestly, one of my favorite sketches I've ever done in my life is Cabin Hunters. Cabin Hunters is so inappropriate. It's so fucked up, so inappropriate.
People need to see that. People need to know that there's other layers.
There's other layers.
Yeah,
to
this onion.
So this is the All Stoved Up Podcast. The idea is to kind of, I guess talk about our show. We were thinking, can we do this show in character? But it's pretty hard to fucking talk about a series that I write and direct just going,
I also highly didn't want to do that. Like I was high and I didn't want to do that.
We all three of us are Mainers, but we were born here and fucking live here. But I think the show is, if anything, an admiration towards our love for Maine humor.
Absolutely.
And so, if you're listening to this podcast and you're a fan of Welcome to Maine, thank you very much for supporting us. We started a little less than a year ago, a little more than a year ago.
Yeah.
And it's crazy how it's exceeded my expectations as far as where the fuck the shit was going to go.
Oh, beyond our expectations.
Yeah. I mean, I think the first video we did was just to get a couple laughs on our actual Facebook page. It had nothing to do with Welcome to Maine. And then I think that first video we put out had 5,000 views. And I didn't have any Facebook videos outside. I guess I had a viral video. Fucking
yeah. When it hit
2,000,
2,000, I remember when it hit 2,500 views on Facebook. I almost lost my mind. I was like, wow.
Now that's the Desert of Maine episode?
No. So the Desert of Maine is the first actual official Welcome to Maine episode. Oh. But the
pilot episode.
The pilot episode, if you will, is the fucking the Lighthouse episode. The what the fuck's it
in
called?
Cape Elizabeth. Portland Headlight.
Yeah, Portland Headlight.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, we did Portland Headlight. And that it's funny is you can tell where there was a couple things in the Portland Headlight episode that didn't make it out. I really wanted Mark to be chewing a toothpick the entire time. That's why yuht was going to be his only word, because you can do yuht with a fucking toothpick, But yeah, there was a couple things.
Was it just that you forgot the toothpick in later episodes, or?
Yeah, I think Desert of Maine. I completely forgot. I couldn't find it. I was like, we're losing that shit.
He
fuck
dropped
that.
it in the sand of
You know
the
what?
desert.
This is gonna be my thing.
Yeah, it's my new thing. Yeah, I gotta be honest. I feel like Mark has way too many things, anyways. I think I'm good on the things. Welcome to Maine. We started the shit. Because we're all stand-up comedians. That's the other thing people should probably know about us. We're all that's what we do for, if not all our entire living, half our living. We're all seasoned stand-up comedians. And, during the pandemic, there wasn't shit to do. That doesn't change the fact that we're not comedians. And so we needed something to do. We got together, even though, everyone wanted to be socially distanced. We were like, we'll be within 6 feet of each other. And we knocked out a couple of videos. And every video, it seemed more and more people were getting on the train. And I don't know. It's funny. We never did Welcome to Maine with any expectation.
No.
And it's funny that it's the first thing we've done as comedians that has garnered an actual fan base.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Because
not the comedy.
No, it's dude,
ironically, right?
I'll tell you this: I've been doing stand-up comedy for over 10 years, and no one. I mean, there's been a few people. I'll be in Hannaford, and someone will be like, "Oh, I saw you open up for so and so," or "Hey, I saw you here," but an actual "Oh, are you Mark?"
Yeah.
Dude, someone. It wasn't until Welcome to Maine that people were excited. You know what I mean? People would see me in the store and be like, "Oh, hey, I like this, I like that." But with the Welcome to Maine thing, I think, and that's why Welcome to Maine is important to me too. Is it's not political or religious. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's just there to have fun, and you can tell that when people are fans of the show and they meet you, because they're usually fun fucking people.
And what was fun for me is I didn't jump onto a set, so to speak, until the Pit Party episode.
Yeah.
So I've been watching it just like everyone else listening to the podcast right now up until now. And my favorite thing about it is the barrier of entry. where you have to kind of know what you guys are talking about. You have to be from Maine in some respect to get 80% of it.
Yeah.
Like it's
There's
definitely
a lot of
like,
local references.
It's for Mainers.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's who your fan base is people who absolutely like, no, oh my God, that's my uncle. That's my uncle.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
Whatever,
and me and James talked about this like a long time ago, but the way that I write James's character, it's my, for the most part, it's my true outlook on Maine. Like the way that I think about, like I usually kind of think in a sarcastic tone. I usually think in like well, fuck it, dude. That's my inner monologue. And so that's the way that I write that shit. And that's the thing. It's like, because we've grown up in fucking Maine, it'd be hard for me not to use the references. It'd be hard not to talk about cumbies or fucking dicats or fucking whatever the fuck it is.
And it's funny how like you have to be from Maine to like,
also, if you're listening to this at work, I apologize greatly for my language.
Yeah, you should have headphones.
Welcome to Maine is a nice PG-13 adventure. The podcast, maybe not.
I think it might be good for folks, because I'm kind of looking at this like the folks listening to this, right? Because I'm from the outside too, so I'm thinking let's get a sense of what your backgrounds in Maine look like. Like, where do the things that you're writing into the characters come from? Where did that start from? What are you referencing from your past?
There was a lot of questions.
Yeah, all at once. Just do it.
Yeah, I mean, like the thing about Welcome to Maine though too is like every episode people do get that nuance of like, oh yeah, I've known someone like that, or yeah, I know someone that's done that. I know someone that's gone ice fishing, even if they haven't. They know someone that does. They know someone who's connected to it. Just like the pit parties thing. Like every single person in Maine thinks their high school was the king of pit parties. Yeah. Like, like if you didn't go to Gorham High School, dude, you don't know pit parties. And it's like, no, they all know pit parties.
I saw that comment on Facebook because I live in Gorham.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I mean, that's the thing though, is like I like redneck shit. You know what I mean? Like I've always liked redneck shit, and so it's just my take on what Maine humor is, and the redneck shit that I fucking like. You know what I mean? Like I've always been down to like I've been to fucking pit parties, dude. I've shot many guns in pits. Whatever like that's the thing. Welcome to Maine. I might not actually be Mark. But I've experienced 99.9% of whatever the fuck we're talking about. Welcome to Maine.
You've seen a lot of Marks.
Oh, well, so Mark is completely based, like, that's the thing. Our characters are based on, like, kind of real people.
Right.
And Mark is based on not a single person, but, like, every dude I've ever worked. I've worked, like, a bunch of random, like, I've done, like, driveway shit. I've roofed. I've done a bunch of maintenance jobs. And you always have, like, the sidekick dude with you. And it's always like, hey, did you bring the nails? Yeah. Did you do this? Yeah. Hey, you got the cigarettes in the truck? Oh yeah. And it's that thing. It's not what's the fucking
dude? I'm not kidding you. And this is completely. You should know that is so true. We actually had a kid play on my men's league hockey team last night who was like a real life Mark. And he had a full mullet. He got to the game late. He skated out after the first period was already done, and he sat down on the bench. Never met this kid before in my life. He was filling in for our team, and I was like, "Hey, man, thanks for showing up." And he's like, "Oh yeah," and then he just looks over at me and he goes, "You guys ride any dirt bikes on this team?" And I was just like,
fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I was like, dude, you'd fit in.
Well, for me personally, because like I was also looking at like the old Maine saying of the a yup. You know, the a yup.
Oh yeah.
I don't know anyone who actually uses a yup, but Mainers have shortened yes and yup or yup or whatever the fuck it is to the yup. Like yup is what I fucking hear.
How many people have, since we've started the show, have told you, because I'm sure it happens to you more than it's happened to me, but how many people say that they think of that whenever they say yeah, and they just, like, if someone asks them a quick question, hey, can you grab me that? Yeah.
Yeah.
You say that, and then you think, oh shit, that's Mark. Like,
well, and that's the thing. It wasn't like I made up yeah. It's like something I've been using forever. You know what I mean? Like that's always been my yes.
It's a one-syllable solution to so many of life's problems.
Dude, it's really. I mean,
on the show you made it we make yeah such like a thing.
Yeah.
But it's in every Mainer's life. It's just a word we use 1,000 times every day. And we don't even realize it.
It's because Mainers are agreeable people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We don't have that fucking the no thing. Even if we're gonna tell you no, it's gonna start with a yeah. Yeah. Well.
It's the sound that I think of when people nod their head at me to say hi.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, so I think the characters came from people that we know, and the reason we did is we're stand-up comedians. And I mean, also, I mean, you got to understand too, like this is not my first video project. I've done a fucking ton of them. I mean, dude, we've traveled around the United States doing one. Me and Paul have done.
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I teased this earlier on, but back before I dared to tell anyone that I smoked pot, I ran the camera for Ian's
and all the editing
and
all the producing and half wrote the shit
for Ian's show, The Stranger, Stranger, just so it's the weed strains in the name.
It is comedy stuck in a time, by the way,
which you'll see on the YouTube.
Do not judge me.
It is 1080p pre-legalization. Just like point and shoot video editing, pretty straightforward, but it was at a time where people weren't real vocal about, there was no it was like pre-Tumblr. It was like pre like here's
you were the first one to do like food reviews based on weed. They were just
I mean the idea. I mean that was kind of the idea was exactly, I was like doing reviews, like a video marijuana review thing, kind of like lampooning, what reviews are, because I wanted to write fucking pot jokes.
Because I remember you saying to me while we were smoking weed one day on your couch, you were saying, I hate that pot reviews are trying to be wine reviews.
Oh, I fucking hate that.
Just like, because they're talking about the palate and they're talking about things that nobody gives a shit about.
And we don't talk like that.
Yeah,
I don't talk like that shit.
Well,
the terps on the nose are quite an accentuated experience. Like, I don't fucking talk like that shit. Like,
no, your comments were more like, this looks like Oscar the Grouch fell into a broken window.
Yeah. Well, and that's so to even predate The Stranger, I was writing for the 420 Times.
Oh, that's
and my style of writing for the 420 Times was, because I was a stand-up comedian, was this reminds me of that. And so that's how I was writing the reviews in the magazine. And then that's how I was boiling basically down those little anecdotes and making them into one-liner jokes that we were filming.
How many episodes of The Stranger are there? I don't
Maybe
remember.
30?
I feel like it's 30-ish.
Yeah, 30-ish.
I just wanted to go back to when you first started, when that was popping off, and like see the normal everyday person watching you
funny,
at home.
I can't even watch The Stranger anymore because at the time I used to be a very svelte, good-looking man, and now I look like fucking spring break Santa. You know what I mean? Like,
can you imagine the everyday American though sitting at home watching you smoke weed, just being like, "No, honey, hold on, this guy's telling me which weed is good."
Well, so when we started, we were over the pandemic, before we started doing Welcome to Maine. Me and James were streaming Call of Duty.
The live streaming though got us through the first part of the pandemic.
Yeah, sure.
Because we actually
still got friends that we made on that shit.
Yeah, and we got an audience too. I mean, some nights we had like 75, 100 people watching us talk shit to 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And actually, I think the first time we ever did the Mark and Troy bit was over Call of Duty.
Call of Duty, yeah. When
it was
like
my
secret origin. I didn't know this.
Well, so I had the idea of Welcome to Maine. I want to say almost an entire year before I even filmed anything. Like I had this idea of like I want to do basically a travel show hosted by fucking Mainers. Like I had the idea. I wanted I wanted like that classic. One dude, a big dude, small dude. One dude can't stop talking. The other one doesn't say anything. And that's from Penn and Teller to fucking Jay and Silent Bob to fucking Scooby Doo and Shaggy, whatever the fuck it is. There's always that demographic.
Dichotomy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so I had all of that. I had the idea of doing that. And I had the idea of just basically being like the guy directing it and then agreeing with everything. And so it was our first time doing it. It wasn't like it was scripted or anything like that. He was just doing his main accent, like fucking with people. I can't remember what we were talking about.
I do. I would say that my wife left me.
Oh yeah.
I would say that my wife left me. I'm at my friggin' mother-in-law's house now because I walked in on my goddamn wife, and she said I could take the Xbox. She said I could friggin' stay at her mother's house.
So he's doing this to like 15-year-old kids on like a fucking death match. I'm just like, yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, and but the thing is though, is people were reacting to it. Like people and we were kind of doing our own thing. We weren't really talking to anyone, but we were doing these voices and just hearing people crack up the entire time.
And that's funny because I had mentioned earlier that like the best part is you have to be from Maine to get it. But it's funny that you're not talking to people from Maine over Call of Duty. It's everywhere, and they still.
It's Massachusetts.
Well, it's funny. I think Maine humor, like Bert and I and all that shit. that they toured around to California, and like Maine humor is a commodity, or it was. Bob Marley, he travels all around for that shit. I think. I mean, I would assume that 75% of the people watching Welcome to Maine are from Maine, but I mean, when we sold T-shirts, fucking half those T-shirts went to like Texas
and Montana.
Yeah, crazy.
Atlanta,
crazy.
Georgia.
All over
Couldn't
the place.
believe how
So
many
it's not
out
even
of state.
people watching from out of state. Like they're buying fucking merch from us.
I still think, and I think it's a lot of. I think Welcome to Maine too is very nostalgic for people who are from Maine and moved to to Texas or
even
California
people who
or
have
something, because they're like
visited.
it's kind of like a homesick thing to like watch and probably make them feel better.
It's like getting fluff in the mail in a cardboard box. You know?
When you get fucking Amato's tomato sauce, are you fucking kidding
Amato's
me?
pickles.
Or the Amato's marinara. Come on, are you fucking kidding me? You want to punch someone?
Yeah,
You're like, are you fucking kidding me?
I'm
God
unstoppable
damn, I can't
now.
find anywhere.
This is the source of my power.
Dude, my heart just starts fucking.
you know
beating
what's
faster.
funny too is that like. Amato's I genuinely love them. Obviously,
love
I
Amato's.
genuinely love Amato's. But like everywhere that you're from, you think your thing is the best, But so like we're gonna fight for Amato's. We're gonna fight for Amato's to be like the best thing, but it's probably the worst in like the out there. Like,
There's like a deli in Queens that's like not even the best in Queens.
Well,
That's
I had a few questions. I was going to ask if we couldn't like get into
I love
conversation. I was
Amato's,
going to have a
though.
few questions for us prepared, and one of the questions was, "What's your favorite like restaurant in Maine?"
oh yeah.
Oh.
Are
Still
we answering
Amato's?
that now?
I mean, when I wrote it down, immediately I thought Big Rick's in Madawaska, only because it's such a unique place to me, and they'll let me eat.
Anything.
Dude, like fucked up amounts of food, like fucked up
They
amounts.
treat
of
us
food,
really
dude.
well when we're there.
And shout out Big Rick. I love Big Rick.
Big shout out to
and
Big
the,
Rick
And
in
the
Madawaska.
poutine has actual beef gravy.
Beef gravy.
Which is a big delineator.
And the real cheese curds.
So, and that's the thing. If you
Yeah.
get poutine or poutine,
Poutine.
and
Poutine.
if you get that down in Portland, you're getting chicken gravy.
Sure.
But when you hit that Montreal or that Canadian line, you get the beef gravy.
The thing is that from a real French Canadian standpoint, the thing when they come here and they put anywhere here that says they have poutine on their menu, and they put mozzarella cheese or they sprinkle any type of cheese that's not actual cheese curds, that's the big no-no. And you can't do it. You can't have melted cheese. It's got to be like still kind of cold a little bit, that cheese.
You need that. You need the cheese curds.
Yes.
Dude, I mean, once a week I'm buying fucking Pineland Farm cheese curds from Hannaford because I make poutine at least once a week. That's where I
in
get
the
this,
big trash bags you get them sent into you.
Yeah,
Like,
that's why I've got this healthy glow right now. My eye drooping, the heavy breathing you can hear.
I gotta tell you, big shout out to Big Rick's, but Amato's is fire. It's absolutely awesome.
I love Amato's.
Love Amato's. I grew up
Staple in my household.
I'm from Lewiston originally, as people know, but I grew up on Sam's. And if you haven't had Sam's,
The thing is that Sam's, you're special.
when you ask for extra pickles and they just give you a full handful of onions on there and nothing else, like that's Sam's hospitality.
I love
right
that
there.
Sam's was the most basic of Italian American dishes.
It's so good.
Spaghetti, meatballs, and garlic bread from Hanny's, and you're like, yeah, I'll pay extra for that. Like,
well, that's I feel like
bucket
like
o pasta.
Sam's is Amato's, like the way that like a one-eyed stripper is still a stripper. You know what I mean? Like, sure, she knows the moves, but like, do you really want to pay for it?
the depth perception's off. Yeah.
And I think it's right up there. And you know what? They're starting to branch. They've branched out. They're in Topsom. They just closed down Freeport. Very upset about that.
Oh wow, no shit.
Yeah. There's a lot of sketches that we haven't put out.
I was gonna ask that. What's
Yeah.
are there lines that you guys kind of secretly wish had made it out in any of the episodes? Like,
Welcome to Maine. So usually I'll write like 20, 25 jokes for Welcome to Maine. And so I usually write like two versions of this. Like I'll write one version of the script, and then I'll sit on it, and then I'll write it again, and then I'll take that version of the script. Usually it's like 20 jokes, and we'll record them. And usually I take out like 3 to 4 of those jokes, and it's usually just because like they're not great. I will say and I can't off the top of my head remember, but there's been a few like really funny, I guess like maybe political jokes that I found funny that like we're just not trying to do, or like social jokes that we social, political jokes or whatever that I thought were going to be really like, I don't know, that could have been funny, but like, again, like Welcome to Maine, the idea is it's supposed to be fucking for everyone. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I understand, and I'll say we understand who our audience is. Like, we understand the core fans, what, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like that's lost on us. But, Welcome to Maine is meant for, it's supposed to be for any age, any creed, whatever the fuck it is. Welcome to Maine is supposed to be, welcome.
It's about
to you.
Maine, not about
Yeah.
those topics. And
Exactly.
I appreciate that because it's neutral humor. Anyone can share it,
Yeah.
and no one's worried about anyone getting mad in the comments or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Speaking of in the comments, are there still questions?
But we have a ton of questions.
Do you mind if I crack another Sebago Haze?
Yeah, fuck yeah,
forward?
dude.
Not
Yeah,
a
of course.
sponsor, but could be. That'd be nice.
Yeah. All right. Holy shit. Oh shit. We have a fuck ton of questions. All right, so we'll slam through this.
All right.
All right, so first question from Michelle Cafferty. How many whoopie pies can Mark eat in one sitting?
I could probably answer that.
Go for it. Go for it. I'll drink my beer while you do it.
Truthfully, how many can Mark the character or actually Ian? Like,
Both.
okay,
Both.
Mark the character he's an epic human being. That's how he's been written.
Yeah.
We've already made Mark out to be like this insane
Legend.
Yeah, he's a thing of legend. Mark in one single sitting can eat truly as many as he
It's
needs.
needed. Exactly. I'm with you.
Exactly. Because
I'm
if
with you on
someone
that.
at the party's
100%.
like, you can't do 20, Mark's doing 20. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then he's just gonna. That's it. Ian, who I've spent, I don't know. We've done. I don't know how many miles we've logged together, how many hours we've logged together in a car, how many meals we've gone through. You're not a big eater in the sense of like you'll order a large, but
Yeah.
you're not going to eat the whole thing.
No, I'm fat because of booze consumption for sure.
Yeah,
that's
you're
booze,
not.
That's the reason.
You're
I'm
not
fat.
a
It's good to
glutton.
know.
You know.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I mean, if I was given an actual whoopie pie, probably like half of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably. I mean, I would eat part of it, but I just like, I don't have the retention to like finish a lot of shit. I guess.
I know that.
Are you bringing those whoopie pies home for later?
We don't even need to. We need to talk about your drive
No,
through
no. What I
anxiety.
would. This is what I would do with a whoopie pie. If I was given an actual, and I've given, if it's a Medicaid whoopie pie, I will finish the whole thing. Like, I'll eat.
Well,
the
there's
whole
a
thing.
purpose behind
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I'll
the
eat
bag
whole
after,
point.
yeah.
But it's like it's almost too much shit. But if I'm given like a plain whoopie pie with no drugs in it, I'll eat half of it, and then I'll leave it in my truck for like 5 weeks, and then eventually it'll be like thrown out.
Someone will be like, "Is that rotting?" No, it's curing.
It's yeah. It's a fucking brick. It's a weapon now. All right. Next question from Dylan Sirius.
Sorois, I think.
Sorois.
Yeah.
Do you want to read this question?
Oh, sure.
I don't
Go ahead,
have
that'd be
any
awesome. Yeah,
questions
that'd
in
be
front of me, so I'm relying on you guys.
All right. What is the proper etiquette for telling someone in your group they have a flag when ice fishing? If not in your group, but you're riding by, what then? So my dad is a moose hunting nature guide, but he doesn't hunt the moose. He just cooks. So my dad is also a big ice fisherman because of this. So anything you can pull out of the ice and cook, he'll cook. My dad, from when I was 5, said that the rule, and I'm assuming this is a main thing, when you see a flag, you scream flag, right? It's flag.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
It's instantly flag. Now, I don't know that it changes for a group next to you if you're riding by. That's oddly specific.
But
It should be like, "Hey, flag!"
I mean, in any type of fishing, if like, I don't know, if somebody had a fish on their line and they didn't know about it, wouldn't you let them know? I just think you would be like, "Hey, you got a fish on."
Yeah, because
or
if the party next to you is going a little harder in the morning, they may not notice. I think etiquette would dictate, though, that you cannot stop and pull their fish out.
No.
No,
They
fuck
catch
no.
their
You
own
can't touch the
fish.
trap.
That's their line.
Yeah.
Though you get killed for that.
No, that's a good call.
Yeah, so yeah, I think you yell flag. Thank you, Dylan. Charlie Auger, where do we find it, bub? So right now, just YouTube. I think honestly, this is gonna be like the pilot episode of fucking Welcome to Maine. This one's gonna be you're gonna find it one place, and then once I understand how the actual equipment works, then you'll find it on Spotify and iTunes. All
And
that
if you've listened this far and you're not sure if this is the pilot episode, then you have to at least acknowledge there's no agenda.
Brian Oliver asks, best pizza south of Portland? ? And I know
South
you,
of Portland.
James, is a huge pizza guy.
Huge pizza guy.
South of Portland.
I actually review pizzas on the Barstool app. You can do that on the One Bite app.
Oh,
You can
yeah.
like take a picture of wherever you go and you can give it a rating and you can check everybody else's rating. South of Portland, does that count being in Portland then? Because I'm gonna say in Portland there's two places: Lazari and Pizza Joint.
See, I would Pizza Joint me a little bit.
Pizza
My
Joint
favorite,
is incredible.
My favorite in Portland is Pizzaiolo.
Yeah,
I like
okay.
Pizzaiolo.
Agree to disagree, but
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's the thing.
But you like ricotta cheese.
and I don't.
Oh, fuck.
Pizziolo is
I don't.
heavy ricotta.
I like ricotta. Oh yeah, I like ricotta
But
cheese.
Pizza Joint and Lazari to me are heavy hitters.
Yeah.
In the pizza world.
I'd have to go down to Scarborough, specifically the Five Corners place behind Lowe's. The Five
Oh,
Corners,
I've not been there.
it's like a country store sort of thing, like a convenience store, but not their regular pizza, their breakfast pizza. And if you're from Maine, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
The local store's got a good breakfast pizza.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Eddie's on
buddy.
Auburn Street.
Yeah, and
breakfast
they have a good one. And the key is bacon and less ham for me.
Yeah, so I like, and this is not south of Portland. It's more like maybe northwest of Portland. But I really like, because I grew up on a Gorham House of Pizza and Standish House of Pizza.
Oh.
I like that Greek style shit. I do.
Yeah,
and
I don't-
Standish House of Pizza is fucking awesome.
I don't mind. I'm like a Sam. Again, I grew up on Sam's, but that's why I love Pat's Pizza too. It's a good bar pizza. It's an awesome pizza.
I'll say if you're going to Pat's Pizza, my go-to is their Greek pizza, but remove the spinach because it's healthy and replace it with bacon.
Yeah.
And that'll change your life. Kalamata olives, feta cheese. It's the same at every Pat's. I got to give them credit there, where they're not a full franchise per se, but they're consistent across the state.
They are.
It's a go-to.
Even in Lincoln, Maine, went to the Pat's up there when we did the festival.
I like Pat's. All right. Mark Holmes, what's the music you use and how did you find it? Very good fucking question. So I've been editing, making film, short films, videos, all that shit for years and years and years. One of the things that the social media sites will do is they'll take down or flag your videos if you're using copyrighted, music. So you have to find, music that is safe to use. And so you get into like these different sites. I want to say there's like one called like Ben Sound or something like that, which is like this one guy making, commercial music. But the one where I found this song, I think it was called freemusicarchive.org. And the idea is people upload music that is either beyond the copyright laws as far as like time and age and shit like that. Expired.
Yep.
Or it's, artists that want you to use their stuff on. And, the song that's in Welcome to Maine, the first time I used it was in the Celebrity one. I used it all the way through, but it's just a snippet from, I want to say it's like, I think it's like the first recorded song or the first recorded, it's like got some sort of history denotion towards it, where it's like the first of something. I can't remember what it is.
Is it the first song used in cinema?
Maybe. I mean, it's I believe it's over 100 years old.
Okay. So ain't nobody coming after you.
No.
Royalties.
And the other thing too is like I listened to a ton of songs, and Welcome to Maine almost was like a country down kind of idea.
Yeah.
But I went with that because it sounded like it was like old, like a school projection video of like, and today on world history, it was that idea.
Yeah.
So that's where I took that little piece of it.
The Axis powers have pulled out of Italy.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't forget to sign up at your local infirmary.
War bonds now.
Buy war bonds.
So
Smoke Chesterfield.
that's where it came from. It came from freemusicarchive.org, and it's like one of the oldest songs.
I like it. I dig it.
Michael Green or Michelle Green? It's Michael Green, right? Fuck yeah. Want to see if Mark can smoke a jibba through his nose? Or that's what the guy was talking about.
Yeah.
I've smoked pot out of my nose, dude.
But this is about Mark.
Yes, Mark.
Specifically.
Yeah, Mark's a fucking dragon.
And Mark, if like Mark's jaw
Fuck
was
yeah.
shattered and he had to have it wired shut, he'd have 2 joints up his nose during
100%, yeah.
during the surgery.
Yeah, 100%. I'm with you. And then Michael also says, "Where do I go and let us see this, please?" And again, Matthew Powell. If you guys could have one really famous person
Shout
on
out
an
Matt.
episode, who would it be? Great fucking question. Locally, I'd love to get Bob Marley because he is also a stand-up comedian. He is the main derivative as far as Maine humor is like currently. You know, we are derived from Bert and I and Tim Sample and Joe Parham and all that shit. But like the guy who's actually making it happen and took it to a different level than all those guys is Bob Marley. So he is kind of like the marquee when it comes to Maine humor.
Wow.
If I had like a famous person, like if I really could pick any person, it would be Will Ferrell as Ron Burgundy.
Oh, very specific.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I kind of thought you might go
Yeah.
Kanye West just to make it interesting.
Really?
Just to see
Oh,
what
so
he'd
yeah,
say.
that's the direction I would go in. I
Yeah,
would go with
really?
like I see. It wouldn't even be like I would go with like Will Smith,
Like
Will Smith or like
Really?
yeah, someone like someone that's
Someone who isn't
so
an actor.
famous.
I would want someone who we could act with.
Will Smith's a pretty good actor.
Oh, no,
I don't know if you've I don't know if you've seen iRobot, but it's decent.
Like
okay?
iRobot.
I mean, it wasn't that good. I get it, but he's still a good actor.
Independence Day, motherfucker.
Nah,
Welcome
Will
to
Smith
Earth.
couldn't do what we do. I'll tell you right now.
But if it was Kanye West,
Is it with Kanye West
by
be
the
yours?
end, yes, because by the end of the episode, he'd have changed the name of Welcome to Maine.
Yeah.
To something
Welcome
completely
to
out
Easy.
there, like leopards and cheetahs.
Yeah,
and that has nothing to do with anything.
And he would tell us that we can't be in it anymore.
yeah, he would tell you, you
By the
gotta
end of
outsource
it.
your roles.
Oh yeah.
We're not
By
even-
the way, you guys are out.
We're not even
All right.
executive
And everyone in the
producers.
videos would be wearing Yeezys. It'd just be perfect. Go Kanye just to throw it off.
You're going Will Smith.
I think I would go Will Smith.
You're going
Yeah.
Will Ferrell. All right, yeah, fair enough. Do you want to read the next one?
Yeah, let me try to read this one. This comes straight from J Clap Truckin'.
Oh yeah.
Good farmer hack. ... So a 2-dot ellipse. If your neighbor is giving you shit, give it right back. Save your wood from the pig pen. ... Just about now you can stop burning it, and it will speak volume for you. Here's the thing.
Whoa, that's like a fucking.
Here's
That's
the
like
thing.
a riddle.
I love that people who are fans of this show, when they comment, are as drunk as you're pretending to be
Oh fuck yeah.
in the show.
I mean,
That's-
I have definitely been drunk filming that fucking show.
Yeah,
I've
it
been
shows.
hammered.
I'm pretty sure
I have too. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely hammered.
you could get
filming
an
that.
yuht out tanked.
Oh yeah.
And like I will
yeah.
say the Stephen King episode in front of Stephen King's house. I've never been more hungover in my entire life. Do you remember that day?
Yeah.
Because we filmed that and we filmed
Paul Bunyan,
Paul
same
Bunyan.
day.
And then we had a show at Bangor Arts Exchange
Yeah,
at night.
sold it out.
And I remember I had 2 beers in the right before that, and I finally felt a little bit better. It was a sold out show, and I can tell you, if you watch that episode, you'll know that old Troy had a tough night in the old port the night before.
I'm trying to think of like which of the episodes I was like really drunk for. I want to say either one we did in OOB. I was because we day drank before we filmed, and I was like really adamant about it.
You
And, like,
did.
yeah, I drank
Because I didn't.
because I like
was.
I love the pier.
Yeah.
and so we just like sit next to the ocean. I would hammer.
Yeah, you were
drinks.
drinking a few beers. Yep.
Yeah, I was pretty fucking drunk.
I was smoking a joint of. Sorry if my parents listen to this. I was smoking a joint by the wall. After you remember, you got beers, and I was like, you know what? Because we had to wait for the sun to go down.
Yeah,
And I was
to
like,
film.
screw it. I'm like, I just started ripping a joint right on the beach. I didn't care. I had enough at that point.
Nice.
Yeah, we shot the Maine marijuana episode 4 times.
Yes.
What-
Oh my
four
god.
times.
What was the issue?
So
I'll let you handle that one.
Well, just like this fucking podcast, like I didn't go to school for any of this shit, so I'm learning by trial and error. And so with the camera especially, you can tell in the first couple episodes, like I'm getting a hold of it now, but like you could tell like I didn't know how to use my fucking camera, you know? And so there were a couple episodes that were just shot poorly or the sound was fucked up. And it's happened a bunch, it's happened a bunch of times. But with the marijuana one, what happened is we shot it one time, it was fucked up, so we brought someone else in to help us shoot it. He fucked it up. Then we went to a different dispensary because we're like, all right, fuck it, it'll be better here. I then fucked up that filming, and then on the 4th time, I finally got it right. And so we filmed that fucking thing 4 whole fucking times. It takes us like an hour to film one 5-minute episode.
Yeah, like an hour to do 5 minutes. There's some that have taken us multiple hours to do.
Yeah.
But anyway,
We're better at it now. We're better at it
yes,
now.
now we are. It's definitely better now. But which is fine. It's trial and error from year one, but we've also had a lot of side help. Like we've had like legit like camera crews on the set with us with like a whole setup, and we've had like people come in and like just to help. And some of the things that have gotten in the way was there have just been people that have been like, hey, you guys should do this. It's like, hey, why are you directing this?
I've tried to bring in people to help film, to help just use the camera, and they'll be behind the camera and we're doing our thing. And it's hard not to be like, hey, it'd be great to do this and that. But the way that I write Welcome to Maine, I write it the way that I know I'm going to edit it. So it's already in my head visually, and also it's already in my head sonically how I want it to go. And so as soon as that pops up immediately, I'm like, well, this is the last time he's on this fucking shoot. Fuck that.
Yeah,
fuck that.
It's a core vision, right? Like you got.
Yeah, I got a fucking idea. Like this thing, I have this idea in my head. I just want to knock it the fuck out.
Here's the thing. Here's the other side of that spectrum. Coming from one of the later episodes, the first time I was on set, if you will, for the pit party episode, that as a new cast member was extremely weird. Not, and I would tell you this to your face, obviously, because I'm doing it now. But what I'm saying is it was very like, sort of like, hey, here's the script. We're gonna go out and we're gonna shoot it. Don't worry if you get it wrong. No need to memorize it. We're just gonna redo it, redo it, and you just cut all the chaff and created an episode. And I have to be honest, like I wasn't ready. Like if you're watching the pit patty episode and Luke looks a little bit like his accent fluctuates, like I was not prepared at all.
Oh, we were figuring out your accent 15 minutes before we showed up to the fucking shoot.
And you guys are like a well-oiled kind of thing now, and I was just kind of like, oh yeah, almost Australian. Like,
well, if you really want to get behind the scenes, Paul was supposed to be a Mainer, but his accent was so like Charlestown, Massachusetts, that I was like, it's got to be.
I actually
from Mass.
Suggested we should say he should be from Worcester.
Yeah, and you said Worcester, and that's what I put. I put Worcester.
It is, right,
yeah,
exactly.
I put Worcester as. But yeah, so and the other thing I will say too, like the way that we work, the pit party was different because the way that we work, he understands how OCD I am with the script. And I'll be honest, you were pretty loose with it only because like you were figuring other shit out.
Yeah.
I almost kind of liked that. I liked that I didn't have like all the fucking control.
I'm surprised you didn't follow that up with, well, he's off the fucking set.
No. It's because like in all honesty, when we shot it, I was like, I don't know. But then when it came together in editing, I was like, oh yeah, I like this. And then in all honesty, man, like for a while it felt like Welcome to Maine. We would put out a video and we'd always get thousands of views. That's not the case. I mean, we've put out 2 videos recently that have gone like less than 4,000 a piece. The pit party one got close to 20,000, all organic views.
Right.
There's something behind that. You know what I mean? People are sharing it. People are connecting to that.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're smart about it, where you guys are adding another element here and there that kind of like changes things. It's not the same formula exactly every time. And
well, it also goes down the path of where I see Welcome to Maine. I see I've got a TV pilot that I've written. I really want to film a TV pilot. I've got this idea. Welcome to Maine is my first writing, directing kind of project, but also it's like I want to start adding new characters. I want different voices in my head. And I will say I'm lucky that I got funny fucking friends that I can like employ on that. Like, yo, can you fucking help me out on this shit?
Years ago, do you remember when we on a different podcast, by the way, when we interviewed O-Chang? O-Chang Comics.
I love O-Chang Comics. They've been very nice to I've worked with them a few times on their cartoons.
They are great.
Love O-Chang.
They are really funny guys.
And I remember them trying to talk about keeping it fresh, right? Adding a new dynamic, adding other characters. But what's funny is these are still relatable characters, and they're people that you've seen. And I forget the gentleman's name who runs it with his wife, Adam. But Adam just referencing, hey, I worked as a temp. So the original name was, Temp Tales. I think it still is Temp Tales.
Tales, yeah.
And he's referencing people he went to temp like labor jobs with.
Yeah.
like, you know, doing landscaping. Who hasn't done that, right? Like doing any other. Like, I hayed. My first job was haying.
I've done some haying in my fucking time.
If you've never snorted, you know, hay dust, you don't know what summer's like in Maine. Really, I don't think that's the thing. But like
going to bed itchy. It's like,
where the hose actually feels good.
Yeah.
That's how you know.
Down.
That's how you know. That's how you know you made $4 an hour. Yeah, that's good.
Like that scene in with Chris Farley in Tommy Boy, right when he's getting hosed down at the gas station.
Dude, exactly like that.
Yeah, but I think it's just that's the relatable stuff, and that is a gold mine for folks who are here and also relate to that.
Well, I mean, there's a fucking. We're in my man cave right now, or my office right now. I got a whiteboard on my wall. I always have goals. And Welcome to Maine. When I started to understand that, all right, this is getting some traction, I started having goals for it, and so I knew that after a year of doing Welcome to Maine, I wanted to add some shit to it. I wanted to make, and then, to be fair, I think our fan base wants it. I mean, there's been a few people that have been like, I don't like the new character, and but with that said, for every, I would say 2 people we've had from that, we've had 50 people be like, I fucking like, you know what I mean? It throws in some new blood.
I think people also, like, one of the comments the other day, which was that I came across, someone was like, he doesn't even have a Maine accent. It was like,
that's totally true.
He's from Worcester.
He's
so
Worcester,
there
dude.
you go.
It's a transitionary.
Or he actually said, he goes, it's a Massachusetts accent.
But
I was like, well, then we're spot
totally
on.
Right.
Then.
Yeah, and I think the benefit of it is that this is a character that's transitioned to Maine, right?
Yeah.
Like he's a Flatlander.
We might find out soon that he is trying to escape something from where he's from.
Yeah, who knows?
He's laying low.
But there's an opportunity for him to learn the Maine accent,
Yeah,
and
sure.
that's something that's relatable.
Because half his time, maybe he stays with his girl in Lisbon Falls in her trailer. You know.
It also adds a different dynamic as people from Maine, as Mainers. How many times did you hear like, oh fucking massholes and da 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 da.
Yeah.
That's part of our culture, and I think it's important to like, not to say that the character Luke is a villain, but he is like the
trouble.
He's
trouble.
He's
trouble.
the sleaziest.
Yeah, he's trouble.
We're like your characters just want to get fucked up.
Yeah, we're
like
good old. It's good old boys.
It's good old boys trying to get fucked up in a pit. But my character wants to steal your money once you've passed out.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I'm not gonna lie, dude.
Exactly.
Like, and I'll say this too. One of the things for me personally that won me over with the whole as soon as I started knocking out the episode, I was like, oh, this needs to be a reoccurring character. It was your improv of the I'm coming, dude. I'm fucking coming, dude. The
child support.
Yeah, because like I wrote the Rite Aid shit.
Yeah.
But the way that you took that last line, I don't know. I really enjoyed that because it, like, I think the reason that people like our characters is they can relate to them in Maine. I know a bunch of dudes from Mass. Immediately when you were doing that, I was like, oh, I can relate to that fucking shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like if he showed up to the door in sweatpants.
Oh,
like baggy gray sweatpants specifically, like just sort of like real
tucked into thigh-high socks and that he's wearing Nike or Air Jordan sandals.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. Yeah.
Champion mesh shorts. Like just like some mesh shorts that he just throws on every day.
So, Chris Holm, how about some worm diggers or bait, Bag Bobby, Larry the Lewd, Stern? I don't even know what the fuck?
I swear your fans, they do shots before they comment.
Yeah,
it's like a game, I think.
I'm gonna get fucked up and go comment on the Welcome to Maine page.
That sounds like a drinking game.
Jordan Dawes says, talk about down east and how they act down there. So my cousins are from down east. You know what's funny about down east? It's you're either like a fucking rich person or you're a poor person.
Yeah, the bifurcation between the like who's got like the house on the hill and who's like, you know, working their ass off is very different there. I also like that the accent's very specific.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like the down east accent is like
that's where the yacht comes from.
That's what they tried to do in like Pet Sematary, the original one.
Oh yeah.
A lot of when movies do the main accent, they do the down east, the very drawn out.
Oh.
Did you see Stephen King's cameo in It too?
Yeah,
Because he
At the
did
pawn
like
shop.
I think he did like a down east
Oh
act.
yeah, he did the old. Me and Martha, we've got a house up on the cliff that we ain't never gonna sell.
Don't go there. You know?
That's the other. I mean, we should do a video about all the different main accents.
Definitely.
They're so specific.
My
too.
son makes fun. on the way to Rangeley, the way that we go from the Sebago Lake area, has a sign that says Rupert's Blueberries. And my son does the down east accent, and he goes, "Oh yeah, Rupert's Blueberries."
Oh yeah.
And it's instantly way funnier if you say the same thing, just like, "Oh yeah."
Have you seen the
Rupert's
SNL
Blueberries."
sketch that Will Ferrell did about that commercial that they had?
Oh, buttery flaky
the
crust.
Dice
Buttery
commercial,
flaky
yeah.
crust.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
You know what's funny about that sketch is literally just the viral video. Like
Yeah.
there's not much done
Exactly.
outside of that.
They just did the same
They
exact
just Will
thing.
Ferrell
That
the video. Yeah.
buttery flaky. Yeah,
I like Down East. Down East is good.
me too.
I've done a few crazy ass shows.
Ian
All the
would've-
craziest shows I've done at Down East.
Ian would have liked
Yeah.
it better if it was, him as Ron Burgundy.
yeah, exactly. This one has nothing to do with Welcome to Maine. And I like that. Harley O'Neill, Sweet Baby Ray's or Stubbs? Where you guys at? Barbecue
Sweet
sauce?
Baby Ray's. Actually, I just did a pulled pork with my girlfriend.
Dude,
Shout out my girlfriend.
Sweet Baby Ray Chipotle
her
for me.
Crock
personally.
pot the other day. We did a Sweet Baby Ray's pulled pork, and it was awesome.
Can I be real with you guys?
Yeah.
I don't like Sweet Baby Ray's, but have you had Baby Ray's? I'm not even kidding. There's an unsweetened version of Sweet Baby Ray's where you can add your own, instead of corn syrup, you can add like brown sugar to it. You can sweeten it to your taste, and that's my favorite thing.
Yeah,
That's,
see, I don't want an unsweetened one that has directions on how to put your own
that's
shit
too
in
much.
it.
That's
after.
like- that sounds like Legos.
I just don't like the ketchup of barbecue sauce. I wanna.
See, I do, and I still like A1. Like I do like
I
a little
A1.
A1,
Yeah, I'm definitely A1.
but
I like sauces. I'm down. But yeah, I think
I'm a big
as a
sauce
whole,
guy.
Sweet Baby Ray guys. All right. John Best Senior, you should have a live studio audience. I'm sure plenty of volunteers from here. So, John, we do live shows. We've had a few live shows. Welcome to Maine live shows, and actually, we have a live show at Portland House of Music, December 22nd.
I think. Yeah.
And we're Paul. Hopefully, you can get on that too. And
I just found out about it. Yeah, I'll be
so
there.
It'll be
Hey, Paul, you're booked.
so honestly, what it could be? It could be maybe it'd be us doing stand-up comedy sets and then doing some fucking sketch stuff and then putting out some video. Because the reason that we did House of Music is because they can play video at House of Music.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
we actually did that last winter for the Christmas show. We did. It was live comedy, and there was like Christmas sketches that were done, and they were really well done last year, and the audience liked the videos.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So are those all the questions? I think those are all the questions, right? Yeah. Dan Doloff asked with cousin Luke because Dan Doloff knows who you are.
Oh, I should give Dan Doloff a shout out
Yeah.
because my garage was built by Dan Doloff, who happens to be a fan of Welcome to Maine.
Fuck yeah.
Because of you guys and not because of me. So this is a weird.
You didn't even
crossover.
show him. He just
No,
independently is a fan
he
of the show?
found it on his own time. Did a killer job on the garage that we have at home, and is a top notch master of
That's
the
awesome.
carpentry arts. So Dan Doloff,
Shout out to
construction.
Dan.
Shout out to him. He's on this comment thread in the questions here.
I'll say the same thing. My buddy Matt Powell,
Oh.
same thing. I like grew up with him, and he found the show on his own, and he is a top fan of the show. He's a big fan of the show.
So
shout
did
out
you have
to
a
Matt.
story about
Yeah, and you know what? I don't have Dan's permission to share this, but I'm going to because
Yes.
it happened on my property.
I think people will enjoy it.
And I think in Maine, so this is a true story. So Dan Doloff, fan of Welcome to Maine, also happens to be Luke's guy that did his garage in real life. So
yeah.
7:30 in the morning last summer, probably I would say early August, maybe July. And the garage, we've had the footing installed. They've put the foundation in, and Dan's working on adding sort of Tyvek to the side and sort of Rex wrap and making sure that the side's insulated from the outside. And we don't know. It's 7:30 in the morning, and I wake up to this loud crash and the most horrific scream I've ever heard in my life. Like a scream where you don't have to know. You
know
already
something
know
bad
911's
happened.
involved.
Fuck.
And I woke up to that, and my wife sound asleep, so she slept through it. I wake up, I run outside, and the scaffolding he had built, he's working on the second story of the garage.
Yeah.
Scaffolding had broke on him, and he had fallen. This is a master of his art, and he had fallen 12 and a half feet and shattered pretty much every bone in his foot. And And at that point, I would have just died. I think personally, I would just be dead.
yeah.
Like
I hate the word shattered when it comes to
Yeah,
breaking
bones.
bones.
Yeah, shattered.
Because at the time,
He didn't just break it, he shattered
no
it.
idea. So he immediately took his boot off, and his ankle was immediately twice the size. So my wife wakes up finally, and then we and she calls 911. They're coming out there. And he's gone past shock. He's now in the phase where like I would just be like, somebody just knock me out with a baseball bat. Like, I don't want to be awake for this. The amount of broken bones. And he's just talking to me. And he's just talking to me like a rock star. They show up and they start giving us shit because they couldn't find my address in Gorham. The ambulance people are giving me shit. My only response was like, hey, he needs your help. Oh, and by the way, Domino's found it. And that shut them right the hell up. Standish Domino's didn't have a problem. Go talk to those 17-year-olds. They got you beat.
Yeah, maybe if you were smoking weed in the ambulance, you would have found it.
And no offense, we couldn't have driven him. It wasn't safe, but we wanted to make sure. So the ambulance showed up. They assessed him, got him to the hospital. But we're talking the x-rays I saw, I can't even describe to you.
Soup.
They look like a Rorschach test. Like legitimately the most damage to a foot. I saw him probably a month and a half ago. Walking like nothing happened.
Jesus, oh, he's a fucking man.
He's a
fucking.
This is a
goddamn
real,
man.
like a real man. Like you would never
That's
know.
crazy.
I like that.
How'd you do it, Dan? He's like, Domino's.
Yeah, like a rock star. So shout out to Dan Doloff for your
Dan,
question.
nice job, buddy.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. All right. I think those are all the questions. Where are we at recording wise? We have recorded almost an hour right on the spot.
Wow, that's crazy.
Right on an hour. Which I'm not gonna lie, it has felt way longer than a fucking hour.
And
I felt it way shorter.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
assuming the folks listening to this will have had this chopped down a little bit too.
Yeah, I want to give them a full hour. So I've got a couple questions, and we'll be done.
Cool.
So we talked about who we were, how we meet. How did we all meet? All through stand-up comedy, right?
Yeah, stand-up
Yeah.
comedy
All
for
through
sure.
stand-up comedy, different realms of stand-up comedy. But yeah, we all met through stand-up comedy. Favorite episodes? Do you have a favorite episode, James?
I do. Favorite episode, like it was the funnest to film, and my favorite episode of like
How it came out?
watching. Yeah. My favorite episode out, I think, is the Maine accent.
The Maine accent. Oh, you like as far as it's your favorite one that we've put out?
Yeah, the Maine accent was a
Really?
good video. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm surprised how well it's done.
I like that one. And I like for how fun it was. What was the funnest one to film?
I don't know. Anytime we were like near a bar, I like
was
those.
like
All
half of
yeah,
them.
Yeah, half of them. Yeah, I'll go to. We usually drink.
Actually, you know what? Actually, the Moxie video was a really fun day because we filmed the Moxie one. Then we went to that like crazy dive bar across the street
Yeah, it
and
was
had like
fun.
outdoor seating. It was like nice.
So and Moxie was a video that was we had a dude behind the camera.
Twice we had to do.
Oh, we had to film that
we
twice.
did film that one twice. We did the first one. We did it standing in front of the door, and
Oh
then,
my
then
god,
we
you're
did it sitting
fucking
down.
right. I completely forgot about that, dude.
Yeah, and the first time was not fun. It was cold,
Yeah,
and we
sucks.
didn't drink at all or have any fun.
Yeah. And then the second time, some dude was walking by us.
That was the first time we got recognized.
But no, he recognized from stand-up comedy.
Oh.
He was like, "Hey, Ian Stewart, blah 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 blah. What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, we're doing this." He's like, "Oh yeah, I've seen that. Cool." And then he went and got some beer, and then he walked back and like gave us a peace sign. And then after that, we went with that dude and we drank at a dive bar
Yeah.
and just talked shit about comedy. Outside of being in the Pit Party episode,
Sure.
do you like any of the episodes?
My two, I have two favorites, but for different reasons, I guess. So like, I really like the celebrity episode with Spose and
Oh,
Cam
yeah.
Groves.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah,
and
yeah.
watching Lee Nelson just yutt in his
Oh, dude.
kitchen.
He was
is-
great too.
Dude, Lee Nelson was the fucking
He was
man,
the man.
dude.
It's just so cool. Like it's just sort of like it's like so universal, right?
Yeah.
Like you recognize these people and they're also part of the Welcome to Maine. I like that for that reason. But my one with both of you in it that I really like is I'm a fan of the Desert of Maine episode.
Yeah.
Because there was the formula differed a little bit where you guys were with cameras in your face in the sand. We got to see you not just standing. You know, it had a little bit of a different flair to it, so it stands out to me because of that.
You know what's funny about the Desert of Maine one? We had to film that multiple times.
Yep.
but because we filmed, I think the first time we filmed it and the second time we filmed it, I got a ton of sand in my camera equipment to the point where like there was sand in my like camera lens, like the whatever, and the camera stand, like the tripod for at least a half a year.
Wasn't the first
For half
day?
a year there was sand in my
The
shit.
first day we filmed, the one that we couldn't use, wasn't it really bad wind?
Yeah.
And wasn't there a lot of wind? Like it was.
Couldn't hear it, and it was like you couldn't see the shit either.
It was a tough day in the
We
desert.
filmed that with a dude, and then we filmed it a second time with a different dude.
Yes.
And then we were just like, you know what, I think we're done filming with
Guys,
dudes.
go
We're just
through
gonna
a lot of dudes.
We're just gonna set this shit up ourselves.
Yeah.
Because the reason though is because when we started setting it up ourselves, it's looked better. I don't know how to describe.
We've got it down kind of a T.
Yeah.
It's just how it's done. I don't know. It's just easy.
I think my favorite episode, as far as like the actual episode, like the bass fishing episode, as far as like the way I wrote it and the way it came out is exactly what I thought. You know what I mean? Like it came out. My expectations were met with the bass fishing episode. As far as fun, I had fun at the Stephen King. Like when we shot Paul Bunyan and Stephen King, and then we did that sold out show.
Yeah.
Like I had a good time. And then we probably went to the fucking casino after.
We did.
I'm sure we did.
We did.
I'm
I was
sure
feeling
won
fine
probably a
by
little bit.
then because I wasn't hungover
Yeah.
anymore. All the ones we filmed at my girlfriend's camp, I had fun there.
Yeah.
Those were all fun.
And so, and that's the other thing too, is we try, like a lot of the if it's not like a public location, a lot of the locations are like friends' houses or friends' families or places. The bass fishing episode is the exact same place we filmed the cabin episode, and both of those are super popular. All right, so I like the bass fishing episode. Any episodes you guys want to do?
I immediately, when you said that, I thought snowmobiling.
That's
yeah.
that's planned this winter.
Is that in the pipe
Yeah,
already?
yeah. So
good.
this winter for sure is smelting and snowmobiling 100%.
I want to do pond hockey of some kind or ice skating, something like that.
Pond hockey would not.
Every Mainer and ever has played pond hockey of some kind. Have you ever played pond hockey, Paul?
I played backyard like garden hose ice rink hockey.
There we go. That's pond hockey. You've been on a pond before.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've done it. I mean, I was on hockey teams when I was a kid.
And I bet you a lot of.
Did we all play hockey?
Huh?
Did we all play hockey?
I played hockey when I was a kid.
I got to
I still
bantams,
do, yeah.
and then I did the sophomore year up to sophomore year at high school. And in Winslow, Maine, the tradition was doing sprints and circles until somebody
You puke?
threw up.
Yeah.
So people would throw up, but you had to throw up in the visitors bench. That in Suki Arena, that was the rule. If you threw up in the home bench, you got more sprints. And that was the year I was like, not that fun, and I just bounced out.
I played in college and at my school in Vermont. For the first like 2 or 3 practices, you'd get a puck. There would be no nets on the ice, and our coach would just put a trash can at center ice. So if any of my former Linden State teammates are listening, they will for sure remember this. He used to just put a trash can at center ice, and then he would say, "Hey, look, the trash can's not to intimidate you. You're few of you are definitely going to need it." And he would just skate us until guys would just puke at center ice.
It's a weird thing.
Trash can.
Yeah.
I did anytime I did sports, I always had those coaches. They were like, all right, I want to see a little boy's puke. Like, dude, what the fuck? What fetish do you have, motherfucker?
I always thought it was weird. You guys are the shirts and you guys are the skins.
Oh, yeah,
Take
yeah.
off your shirt.
Yeah, there's nothing creepier than being a fucking 4th grade coach or something. Like,
Let me
good
see a
God.
puke, boys.
Let me see a puke.
It's
The
weird.
coaches I liked that I respect now the most were the coaches that were the biggest dicks back then. They were assholes to all the kids. It was like, that's how you should be, you know? Like, don't try and touch my shoulder when I do well.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I came from the culture of smacking the ass if you did good.
Oh, yeah.
Oof.
Oh, yeah.
So, episodes you want to see, James?
More
Oh, yeah,
food.
pond
hockey and
yeah.
food. Anything food. I think food is anything to incorporate food. We haven't really done lobsters. We haven't done lobster roll. I think the food episodes do really well too. I mean,
Except
Needham's?
whoopie pies. Jesus fucking Christ.
people don't like whoopie pies, apparently.
So for me personally, I'm currently writing one on hunting, more specifically deer hunting. I want to do deer hunting. I want to do sledding. I want to do smelting. The one I see us together next which it might be the next one. I'm not sure. Depending on how long it takes me to write the hunting one. I want to do one about Uncle Henry's magazine.
Oh yeah, that's great.
And I just think it would be. I think like that, film it on my back porch, and I think the three of us, I could be really fucking funny. Because I grew up on Uncle Henry's.
Oh man, I have so many ideas for Uncle Henry's. I can't tell you. My friend and I, we used to ride bikes around town, and we would look up dirt bikes with money we didn't have when we were like 13, and look for dirt bikes that we might be able to afford one day. In Uncle Henry's that were like 3 months old, like like those weren't available.
Oh yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. No, I fucking love Uncle Henry's.
Yeah, it's a great. I mean, I've literally seen people buried in at their wake with an Uncle Henry's in their hand. It's like
Jesus,
that's a legit story.
Who was the last person? Was it your uncle?
No, I was a kid in high school.
Uncle Henry.
Yeah,
fucking low.
Yeah, I can remember there was
a bunch of shit circled in the free stuff.
Crazy,
fucking.
His coffin was plastered with the free ad stickers.
Yo, here's the thing though, but if you know Uncle Henry's free stuff, you're from fucking Maine.
Absolutely.
Like you're from fucking Maine. You know what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like
because the best part about the free stuff is it was half like maybe that's good and half I don't want to pay to dump this.
Yeah, it was a lot of. Hey, I got like 18 bed frames and kittens. Who wants them both? Take them all.
Kittens by the box.
Yeah, take them all.
There are people out there that collect the free stuff though from Uncle Henry's. So
I mean, dude, there's a fucking entire show about fucking Uncle Henry. Downey's Dickering is about Uncle Henry.
Yeah. Oh, funny story. I actually judged. I forget the guy's name from Downey's Dickering. His chili. At a chili contest.
We should do a welcome to Maine chili.
Oh, chili cook-off?
Chili cook-off. Chili off.
No, well, you know, I wanted to do this summer. I wanted to do something. I wanted to do like a welcome to Maine barbecue where like we would be at a central Maine park and anyone would be welcome to like hang out. I would love to do a welcome to Maine chili cook-off. That'd be like ask our fans to do a chili cook-off. That'd be fucking dope.
I'm trying to think of what the prize would be. Like I think the first prize is a bucket of Fireball nips.
Oh fuck yeah!
Right?
Yeah,
like
100%.
Like that's gotta be
Bottle of Allen's.
So I feel like I saw that question earlier. They asked like Allen's or coffee, Allen's or Fireball.
Oh,
personally, Fireball for me, and I'll drink Fireball now. Like
I would go Fireball too.
Yeah, I do Fireball. I can't. I'm trying to think the last time I had Allen's.
I don't remember.
No,
I don't know.
Allen's is an acquired taste, much like coffee is in general. I think and also. The last time I had Fireball was on a pontoon boat in Sebago Lake, and I came home with an anchor that I found at the sandbar that I stubbed my toe on.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's how bad it got. My wife had to pick me up at the marina. Like it was not a.
I'm gonna need a ride, and
I literally shouted to my friends, "I'm gonna go home and be a terrible dad." Like that's how well it went.
See, I feel like I can drink unlimited amounts of Fireball. For some reason, I can just drink all.
Gives me heartburn
before.
Fireball. Yeah, I get heartburn on Fireball.
So I think that was the first podcast. It was the pilot episode, if you will.
Yeah.
Before we leave, you guys want to close on anything? Anything you need to say?
It'll get a lot more juicier than this.
Yeah, it'll get better. I mean, this. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna listen to this again and cringe while I edit it.
Oh, for sure. Also, the listener questions, are amazing.
Yeah, I like hearing from I love hearing from people.
Like,
so
what sort of behind the scenes stuff do you want to know?
Yeah. No, I think that's fucking awesome, and that's we're very lucky to already have that kind of like ready to go. People asking questions. So thank you very much. If you contributed, hopefully we answered your question. If we didn't answer your question and you posted it, I mean, I was reading the shit off my phone. I feel like I saw some questions earlier on my computer that I didn't see on my phone, so I might have missed some shit. If I did, we will definitely cover it the next time.
Yeah,
for sure.
But I think for the All Stoved Up podcast, this has been Ian,
James,
and Paul,
and thank you guys very much for listening, and have a good night.
Peace.
Cue that outro.